it's a group of volunteers from all over the world. It's not a corporation. So this is a distribution of the volunteers. The dot means at least one Debian developer. But you can see India also a small number, but mostly Europe and USA. Okay, thank you. I spent some 5 minutes just to show a couple of experiments. Just a demo. So you can see a trace on the screen, and if I touch this with my hand, it goes up in amplitude. Or in turn, if I just keep a small piece of wire, it's there with a small amplitude. What is happening is we have this line supply here, and I'm basically, now this is a small antenna, a small signal. When I touch this, it becomes a big antenna because I become the antenna, and you get the signal. And also it can generate signals on its own. Like we have a small okay. Now you can see a waveform that is generated internally, and through this cable is coming. Now suppose you ask the question, how good is my body as a conductor of electricity? It's a curiosity for students, and you cannot ask them to go and put your finger in the mains line, so you just see how good it is. You can see that I'm just, these 2 points instead of the wire, I put using my fingers I join it. It's a reasonably a good conductor. So I can even quantitatively measure by putting another resistance. So these are the very simple demos, and if I connect this wire, you can see it's showing a waveform. And to see whether really that wave is coming, it's very easy to connect a loudspeaker to that, and we can hear it. Small 7 kilohertz sound. It will be interesting for the students to see how different frequencies, how you feel. I mean, how a high frequency sounds and how a low frequency sound. And another interesting thing is, this is how music is synthesized. So you can write a small program to generate some tune also. There's a big airline security checking, but they allowed me to take all these sharp-edged objects without any. So, actually, what you are seeing is a generator, but I need to rotate it. Like we, in the school classes, we teach that if you have a magnet rotating in a coil, it will generate electricity. So this, we have a magnet, but I need some mechanism to just rotate it fast. But you'll see. If I rotate it 50 times a second, so I get my 50 hertz waveform there, and that is how a generator works. And this is probably the easiest way to show that to a high school student. And I'll just probably show one more. And a lot of experiments in this menu. We'll just pick one. That is to show how a capacitor builds up the voltage, how it charges and discharges. Maybe a little bit boring for people from other subjects, so not continue too much. So this is, I'll quit this and I'll just run my last program. This is only a few lines of program which I didn't write. Actually, my son wrote it. His email ID is here, and there is a reason to mention. This only this much of the code is there, and why I am saying is, if you expose children at earlier age to this sort of things, some of them may take an interest and do some technology. Because when I started this project, my son was in 9th standard. So he took a fancy seeing all these graphs jumping around, and that forced me to learn some programming. And he writes now and also got some fellowship and all in that field. Only because he could have access, and probably I hope that will be true for most of the students. If they are exposed to things which are simple but they can learn more, they may do probably better things. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kumar.